Welcome back, troops. Let's Tab 59. It's raining on me. You know what they say though, no raining, no training. So not a nice day. It started off alright, and now the rain's starting to come down, so I'm going to try and crack on with this video. So before I get into the meat of the video, and you want to stay tuned for this one, so I'm going to be talking about red light districts and rough pubs, maybe, especially out in Germany, if any of you served out there. I'm sure some of you got some great stories. So we'll be talking about that in a moment. God, blimey, it's coming down now. But before that, I want to give you a quick update on our challenge, how the fundraising's going, and also a new sort of venue for our start line, which I'll tell you about now. I wish there's a tree I could get under or something. Anyway, we've now gone up to, for those of you who haven't watching our Just Giving page, we're now up to £1,610 raised so far, which is fantastic. We set a target of £1,000, and obviously we've gone wanging past that. We've smashed that, and we're at £1,610. So I'm going to read out the names of people that have recently donated rather. So here we go, very quickly. Jerry Jellicoe, fantastic. Jerry, cheers, thank you so much. John Goodman, ex-RAF Regiment. John, love the RAF Regiment. I know some army people, army types, give the RAF Regiment a hard time. I might do a video on RAF Reg because I've got a lot of time for them. They're the infantry of the RAF, I don't care what anyone says. Another guy here, he's put up Let's Tab 55. I don't know why he's done that, so I haven't got a real name for you, Let's Tab 55, but your ex-10 para. For those of you who don't know, 10 para, which have gone now unfortunately, I think it's 4 para now, but 10 para were one of our territorial army, our reserve army, parachute battalions, and very good they were too, 10 para. I did know a couple of people from 10 para, as it happens. Big Merv, ex-Royal Irish. Now apparently, Merv, you say in your comments we crossed paths out in Iraq on Optelic 4. We were in Alamara together. Merv, I'm trying to place you, and I can't quite. I'm crap with names, but yeah, I must remember you. It's 20 odd years ago now, mate, and I'm not as sharp as I used to be. So Big Merv, thank you very much. Mally Roberts, another ex-RAF. I don't think you're RAF Regiment, you just say RAF. We're getting quite a lot of RAF guys supporting an old soldier, which really pleases me. Thank you very much. I've got water dripping off the phone now. Bob, ex-59 Commando, Royal Engineers. Cracking unit they are too. Very generous of you, Bob. Thank you very much for that donation. 59 Commando, brilliant. And I've got Marty 2433, ex-Royal Artillery, 12 Regiment. Once a gunner, always a gunner. Cheers for that, Marty. Another one is just DSMO. That's all I've got, just the initials DMSO. Thank you very much. Tony Davis 5283. Thank you, Tony. You're a star, mate. I've got Andy Carter, and I've got Andy Wood. Thank you both, Andy Carter and Andy Wood. Andy Wood hasn't served, he's not a veteran, but he's emailed me a couple of times, and he sent me a little video of him out on the tab with some very kind words of support. So thank you, Andy Wood. So challenge is going well. Our plan is we're still going off on the 7th of September, the Saturday. As I said before, we're doing the 10-mile tabs, very local, but we thought to make it a bit better on the day, the launch day, Saturday the 7th of September, that we're going to set off from Skegness, because we've got a charity pot, which we've got from a cash collection pot, which we've got from Scotty's Little Soldiers. We're going to be carrying that, and obviously if we was to do that round here, we're not going to get many people stop us and give a cash donation or flash the QR code. It's a little quiet village. But in Skegness, hopefully there's quite a lot of people still around on the on the seafront, and so we're going to set off along there. We'll probably only better get a couple of miles in round Skegness because it's just too busy with the traffic. So we'll do a couple of miles over there. We'll drive over in the car, do a couple of miles in Skeg. We'll drive then back to the village and finish the 10-mile tab off in the village, so we can complete the first day's 10 miles. So that's that out of the way. Now, thank you very much for your support. If you haven't donated to our 80-mile challenge, please consider it. And again, like the other videos I've done where I mention the challenge, in the description there'll be a link you can click on which will take you to our Just Giving page. And anything, £1, 50p, doesn't matter. Anything to help us will be much appreciated, and it's going to a great cause. Okay, so on with the meat of the video. So, as I said at the start, steaming up now, guys. What's going on? Just check this camera. Hold on. Struth. Can hardly see the camera. So, talking about ladies of the night, red light districts, rough pubs, etc. I'm sure there's many of you veterans out there and other people that have got experiences of rough old clubs, sticky mats, sticky carpets, real dives, dens of iniquity. Now normally, to the military, these places are quite often put out of bounds. And I've found in my time as a young soldier, that as soon as you hear that a certain club or pub is out of bounds, that's where you're going. If it's out of bounds the squad is, it's got to be good. So anyway, I joined the army. I was only 17 and 3 months old. Quite a sheltered life, to be honest, back in 1976. And the most I'd ever seen was page 3 of the Sun newspaper. That was about it. Oh, maybe the odd gentleman's magazine. Forget there was a big lorry coming. Gentleman's magazine that might be lying around, or a friend at school might give me, let you read it. So I hadn't seen much at all. And of course the other one, up until then, was maybe the underwear section of my mum's Freeman catalogue. I remember nosing through that as a young teenager. I don't know, okay. Boys will be boys. So when I got to Germany, oh, my phone's really playing up, guys. I know the screen's going mental. I don't know what's going on. I wonder if this is coming out now. A bit of water's got in the system, maybe. There we go. So, when I got out to Germany, it was a massive culture shock for me because, as I say, I was quite sheltered. And being a new boy out in Germany, the lads want to take you downtown straight away. I was still under 18. So down the naffy for a few beers. I was going to get in by this tree for a minute. Downtown for a few, in the naffy for a few beers. And then hit the Stadt, down the Stadt. Took me around a few pubs, all having drinks. Crazy time. And then it got really late at night. It must have been gone 2 o'clock. To 2 o'clock in the morning. And they took me to this bar in Celle in West Germany. Any of you lot been out in Celle, you may know this place. And it was called the Teufel Club, or the Teufel Bar. Now the word Teufel is a German word, obviously, and in English it translates to, devil. So Devil's Club, Devil Bar. They took me in this place, and obviously I'm not going to go into graphic details because I try and keep the channel fairly clean. I remember walking in there, paying 5 marks or whatever to get in, and hanging my coat up with a little woman on the door as you go into the club. Sat behind a little desk, you give her the money and she gives you a raffle ticket and you give her your coat. She hangs it up and you go through into the bar, and well, you sit into the bar area, the club area. And sort of sat down in these booths, a little table there. There was I'm sure it's like a stainless steel dance floor sort of area in the centre of this room, and the big cinema screen, or quite a large cine screen if you like, projector screen on the wall, and obviously being projected onto that was some very XXX German movies. I had never seen anything like that in my life, I've got to tell you. When I saw what was going on that screen, I was like rabbit headlights. What is that all about? And of course, every now and again, the film would stop, the lights would dim slightly, they were dim anyway, and then this woman, the cloak woman, that you just paid your money to, she'd come out and throw this fur rug on the floor of the dance floor, and a bit of music would start, and out come, a lady that would take her clothes off, a stripper. And of course, working in that club were ladies of the night that you could pass money to for various activities. I'm trying to be diplomatic here, guys. So anyway, that's a place we used to go. And I remember the guys who would buy a bottle of extra dry martini on top, the bucket of ice. You sit there drinking this. Oh, it's awful. But I do remember on one occasion being down there, no names, no pack drills. One of the lads, one of the female acts, stripper acts, she would come round, and if you balanced a 5 mark piece, it's quite a large coin, a 5 mark piece on the edge of your table, she would come over and without using her hands, she would use a certain part of her lower body to pick the coin up. It was a party piece, I suppose. And I remember some very bad people warming the coin up with a lighter and then seeing her reaction when she picked it up. Anyway, that's another story altogether. So that was quite a rough club. And then I remember moving on, one weekend, the lads had hired a minibus from the motor pool, from the MT troop, whatever. And we went up to the Reaper Barn in Hamburg. The Reaper Barn. Now, those of you who know it, you know. Those of you who don't, the Reaper Barn is in Hamburg. It's a big, long strip, big, long road, various little side roads going off it. And it's pretty much wall to wall, discos, pubs, few restaurants, strip clubs, brothels. You got the lot along there, sex shops, all sorts, all along the Reaper Barn. And in fact, down the Reaper Barn, my time was there. It's now gone apparently. There was, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, it was the largest brothel in Europe. And it was like a tower block called the Eros Centre. There might have been 2 of them actually, but one of them was particularly large, about 6 stories high. And I remember you walked up and went into an underground car park, which obviously wasn't a car park, and all the rooms above it on these were just rooms where the girls would take their clients. And you walked into this underground car park, a bit of music going, dim lighting, and all the girls are stood around dressed scantily in their kit, enticing you in. So I remember that, the Eros Centre. I mean, there's lots of other places. Herbertstrasse, which ran off of the Reaper Barn, was a little street. It was a walkway you couldn't drive through there or anything. It was screened off. There were screens either end. And I remember a sign being on there saying, nobody under 18 past this point. And no, interesting enough, no women past this point. I don't see how they could have enforced that. But anyway, all the lads used to walk down that road. And as you walk down there, it's a little bit like Amsterdam in Holland, where you got like shop windows where the ladies would sit, again, scantily dressed, if anything, in the shop windows, and you could approach them and go inside, etc. So remember that sort of stuff. Now I know that's my limited, but I know, was there one up in Hona called the Snake Pit or something? Or Angie's Bar? Anyway, listen, any of you veterans out there that can remember any of these dodgy places that you've been to, and I'm sure Matlow's down in Portsmouth, Plymouth, there must have been some sticky Mac clubs down there. I'd be really interested to hear anyone's funny stories of dodgy, or how dodgy some of the places they visited as a young soldier, sailor, airman back in the day, whether that be in Germany or Hong Kong. Some of you lads that served in Hong Kong, I'm sure you saw some stuff, and maybe some of the other veterans that had served in Singapore and places like that. I never saw that, so I'd be really interested to hear your little stories about what happened and what the places were like back in the day. Anyway, that's enough for me. The rain's still coming down. I'm going to get off now. Please, if you're watching the channel for the first time, or you've watched me before and you haven't subscribed, I'm faltering a bit, please consider it. I'm not saying do it, I'm saying consider it. Support the challenge if you can. Those that you have supported me already, thank you so much for being a trace around. Until the next time, troops, and it won't be long, remember, stay safe. If it's not raining, you ain't training. Let's tab.